and welcome. You should be on page 29 of your Algebra 1 Quarter 2 notebook. In this video, we're going to talk about solving word problems with systems of equations. So the first essential piece that you're going to have to demonstrate on the summative assessment is, can you take a word problem and write two equations based on the word problem? So you will be required to write the two equations based on the word problem. You're then going to solve the system using the most efficient method. Of course, we've learned how to use substitution, elimination. We know that graphing is a nice way to pinpoint where do those two lines intersect. And we're going to use this method, but specifically with this particular mini unit, we'll say, with our word problems, we're going to use Desmos to find that solution. Third step, of course, is you got to answer the question and you should label your answer. So let's take a look. How are we going to write these equations based on questions? And again, this is systems of equations, so there is more than one equation to write. Shannon has a collection of quarters and half dollars. So she has two different things, quarters and half dollars. She has 12 more quarters than half dollars. There's some information I know about how to compare how many quarters to half dollars she has. The total amount in her collection is $13.50. How many total coins does she have? So the first thing I want to do is I want to say, what do I want to answer? How many coins? So if Q equals the number of quarters, and HD, we'll say, equals the number of half dollars. My question, so I've identified my variables, is what is Q plus HD? And that is what I want to know. How many, if I'm adding those two pieces up? Well, let's take a look at what type of equations I could write. And I know that she has 12 more quarters than half dollars. So if I'm thinking about how many quarters she has, I know that's 12 plus however many half dollars she has, because there are 12 more than those. So there is one equation I can write. The next one is a little trickier, and you've got to kind of think about how I can use my variables to figure it out. I know that if I add her quarters and her half dollars together, I will come up with $13.50. I know that that total will be. So let's say she had 5 quarters. How would I find out the value of 5 quarters? Well, I would take 5 times the value of each quarter, 5 times 0.25, and therefore I would know that value, and that's $1.25. Same thing with half dollars. Let's say she had 2 half dollars. I would take 2 times the value of a half dollar, which is 50 cents, 2 times 0.5, and I would then get $1. So what this is telling me is if I took 0.25, or the value of a quarter, and I multiply it by the number of quarters, and I add that to 0.5 half dollars, I know that that will give me $13.50. So now I've written two separate equations, and with two equations, I can find a solution. First thing, just if I were to solve this kind of the normal way, because I have one of my variables isolated, substitution would be the way I would go if I wanted to solve this algebraically. Again, I'm not going to solve this algebraically right now, so let me just pause and get out of this full screen. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to use Desmos to find my solution. The one thing about Desmos is you cannot use variables other than x and y in your equations. So I'm going to just say, let's say Q is x, HD is y. Q is going to be my x, HD is going to be my y. Q is going to be my x, HD is going to be my y. I really want to remember that. And now I'm going to put these equations in here. My first one is x equals 12 plus y. You can see a line that's just formed up on there. And now I have 0.25x plus 0.5y equals $13.50. I can just put 13.5. I can't see the other line, so I'm going to zoom out and see. Oh, there's my intersection. Okay, so the solution to these two equations is this point, 2614. And remember that the 26 is a value of x and the 14 is a value of y. So x equals 26. I know x is my q, which is the number of quarters. So there are 26 quarters. Y equals 14, and y is HD, which is half dollars. So, well, I can kind of use these in the equation. Let's just kind of make sure that I am correct. I'm going to put this over here. And let's see if I put 26 times 0.25, and then I add that to 14 times 0.5. Indeed, I do get $13.50. So I know it works in that equation. And let's say I have 12 plus my HD, which is 14. Not 12, 14. That equals 26. So, which is the number of quarters. These two numbers support my equations. Now, of course, what's my question? I want to know the total coins. So that's 26 plus 14, and that equals 40 total coins. So the answer to this system of equations is 2614, but the answer to the question I am being asked, it's 40 total coins. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. This is another common type of question. There were 900 people attending the school play. Adults paid $3 for their tickets, and students paid $1. If the total receipts amounted to $1,460, how many tickets were sold? So what do I want to know? I want to know student tickets equals question mark. It's always good to highlight what do you want to know. So what two variables do I have going on here? Well, I know I have adult tickets. So A equals the number of adult tickets. And I know I have student tickets. So I'll say S equals the number of student tickets. From the first sentence, I can see my first equation. There are 900 people attending the play, 900 total. Well, I know there are adults and students attending the play, and I know if I add these two, now I know it'll be 900. So A plus S equals 900. There's equation number 1. The second equation, I have to consider, okay, I know that if I add the total that they make at this play, I'll get $1,460. Well, they're going to have to take how many adults they had and multiply it by $3. So 3 times the number of adults, or 3 times A, will give me how much they make off of the adult tickets. And students pay $1, so 1 times S, or just S, because I don't need to write that 1 as my coefficient when it's a 1, is going to give me how much money they make from the student tickets. So my next equation is 3A plus S equals 1,460. I got to make sure I know which is my X and Y, so I just keep it simple. X, Y, X, Y. This one's X, this one's Y. And I'm going to put it into Desmos. So I have I can't put A. I got to put X plus Y equals 900. Then I have 3x plus 1y, or just y, equals 1,460. No, look at those numbers. We know we're not going to see them until I scroll way out. And lo and behold, I do have a solution. And my solution is 280, 620. So remember, this is x, this is y, and x equals 280, and 280 for adult tickets. Y equals 620, and that represents student tickets. I can take a look. Does 280, let's see if these work in the equations. 280 plus 620, it does indeed equal 900. Now let's see if it works here. 3 times 280 adults plus 1 times 620, that does equal 1,460. So remember, the question I'm answering is there were 620 student tickets. So that's going to be all for this video. There is going to be another fun-filled systems of equation word problems video for you to enjoy. Thanks so much so far. We'll be working on page 30 in the next video.